This is a very, very special time in the history of Peace Corps. Not only do we have this designated as Peace Corps Rotary Week, but this is our 60th anniversary. And that is for good reason. And I'm going to give others a chance to talk more about why this particular day is so critical to the life of Peace Corps. I want to introduce Jody and Ted. Some of you know Jody Olsen has, in the world of Peace Corps, is one of our leaders and legends. She has been, if there's a few people in our lives that we all have as kindred spirits. Well, Jody's right at the top of my list as a kindred spirit. We have I've been fortunate to work with her in a number of capacities over the last number of years, 20, 30 years. She has not only been a volunteer herself in Tunisia in the 66, 68, but she went on to become a country director and has worked at headquarters. She was my chief of staff when I was a country director in the Eastern Caribbean and helped me in a number of ways in that particular capacity. She has been also the deputy director of Peace Corps and most recently the director, and has been a very strong leader in our important work. So I've asked Jody if she would be so kind to say a few words. You should not think just because Jody has left the office of director, she is no longer engaged, because she still continues to support Peace Corps as we all do. But of course, she's also works at the University of Maryland and works in the office, the School of Social Work, where she's able to pass on her many talents and skills to the students that are fortunate to have her as a teacher. So Jody, I'll turn it over to you because I know this is a very meaningful day for you, and we'd like for you to say a few words on behalf of your perspective and what you might think about saying in the context of this very important time in our history.
Thank you, Dick. My Dick Pyle story first is that when he was country director, he was in St. Lucia. And I was able to go as we met with all the Peace Corps volunteers, and he met everybody in the house. I mean, he met everyone, all the volunteers, everybody's in the house, and fixed a great big meal. And after the meal, I wanted to be useful, so I was in the kitchen doing the dishes. And it was just really fun to be doing the dishes with Dick Pyle in St. Lucia in the Eastern Caribbean. So thank you, Dick, and thank you for your work for Peace Corps and all your work for Peace Corps over all these years. You are a true leader for Peace Corps. Second, and I know that Glenn will say a lot more, and I want to do a shout out for Glenn. He's fabulous, and he runs the National Peace Corps Association, and I was very lucky to be able to work with him for the 3 years that I was director. But today is the 60th anniversary of the signing of the legislation that made Peace Corps official. And so Peace Corps celebrates March 1st when the executive order was signed by President Kennedy, but today was when the legislation was passed. I might note that for the history buffs, that when the legislation passed, Peace Corps already had about 1,000 Peace Corps volunteers in the field, and they were using sort of a private account out of the White House until they could get authorization to actually set up Peace Corps. So Sarge Shriver, President Kennedy's brother-in-law, didn't let time pass, and he didn't let protocol get in the way. He sent volunteers off to Ghana and Tanganyika and a couple of other countries even before we had our legislation. So that's what you could do in 1961. But briefly, I just want to note that in this 60 years, we've had 250,000 volunteers in 143 countries. Think for a moment, and all of you there, of the power of these individual 2-year experiences of these 250,000 volunteers, the experiences on the volunteers, the communities, the countries of service. and on the United States. Millions, think in the 60 years, millions of lives have been changed in countries, from the presidents and prime ministers of these countries, of whom I have met with several who talked about their own Peace Corps stories, to headmasters, teachers, doctors, and business people. I've heard their stories also, and have seen the results of the volunteer work. I've also seen the positive impact on women and girls through literacy and education and entrepreneurial activities. And I think I'm most proud, and we as 250,000 return volunteers are probably most proud of the work we've done for women and girls. However, in the US, and many of us are here being good volunteers, these return volunteers are academics, teachers, health professionals, business people, politicians, and importantly, volunteers in communities at home, like everyone here. Our PCVs, the return volunteers, use this international experience to reach out to the diversity of this country. We embrace the cultures and the languages, all of which take steps toward us understanding and supporting each other here in Washington, in the state, and throughout the United States. A quick shout out to Rotary International, and all the chapters, all the groups, give serving volunteers small grant tools and strong personal support so that volunteers can work in partnership with local communities as they, the communities, decide what is needed. I've seen so many of these projects at work, and I am so proud. I am so proud of Rotary. And thank you for the commitment of time, resources, and extraordinary goodwill. Your resources, your partnership, your personal connection is making that difference to thousands of people all over the world in that partnership with Peace Corps. Thank you. I feel lucky to be with you. I feel lucky to honor Peace Corps for this time, this week, this day. And I'm going to hand it back to you, Dick.
Thank you so much, Jody. It's meaningful to hear those comments. And I think everybody that is attending this meeting would agree with me that we would be so fortunate if Jody Olsen would consider being a Rotarian at our Washington, DC club. Right?
Okay, Dick, you and I got to have a conversation here. We got to get that going. I'm with you.
I'll echo that as president of the club. And
Okay.
former Peace Corps
Right.
volunteer.
Yes.
Right,
Let me know. Let me know. I'm with you.
Great.
Okay,
So look
wonderful.
forward to having that follow-up. Thank you so much, Jody. And thank you again for helping me wash those dishes.
Memorable moments.
Memorable moments. And not very often the chief of staff and future director of the Peace Corps is helping you wash dishes. So thank you.
Love it.
So at this point, I'd like to briefly say a few words about our other guests besides Glenn. We've also got Ted Adams, who works at the agency. He's one of the lucky ones that still is able to function there because it's such a wonderful place to work. And Ted has a very important job. He has been instrumental in helping us with this Peace Corps Rotary Week. And I'm going to ask Ted to say a few words. His title, he's got a very nice title. He's the director of the Office of Strategic Partnerships and Intergovernmental Affairs. Ted is a return volunteer. And Ted, my memory slips me where you were a volunteer, so maybe you can bring us up to date on that and any comments you want to make about Rotary Peace Corps Week.
Thanks so much, Dick. And thanks, Jody. It's great to see you and hear you, as always, inspiring. Thanks so much for inviting me. I was a returning Peace Corps volunteer in Ecuador with my wife, and I served in Ecuador in 98 to 2000. And I do work in the Office of Strategic Partnerships and Intergovernmental Affairs at Peace Corps. And this will be going on 5 years where I've had the great privilege of,
Hey, how are you?
of helping support the Rotary partnership. So I feel like after that time of trying to keep up with, well, between Jody and Rotarians, I have Rotary running through my blood. So it's been a great privilege of that. Acting Peace Corps Director Carol Spahn was very excited on Monday to announce the renewal, the third renewal of our MOU between Peace Corps and Rotary International. So we're going to just keep building on the momentum. And really, the MOU is meant to connect the dots between our two global networks, both overseas on the ground. And since the partnership has expanded really to include the whole full life cycle of the volunteer, from recruitment to volunteers coming back home and landing with Rotary and continuing their community leadership. So I think as far as this first annual Rotary Peace Corps Week, it's actually fitting that Glenn is speaking today, because I think it's really a testament to the work of National Peace Corps Association. The group that really is running this week-long event with multiple webinars and events going on all over the world is actually a group of Rotarian Peace Corps, return Peace Corps volunteers that have used the National Peace Corps Association platform to create an affiliate group to support the partnership. So they are really boots on the ground to help activate this partnership, and we're just trying to keep up and participate in the week, and they are the ones cultivating new ideas and bringing new Rotarians into the fold, so to speak. But so just really honored to be here. Happy to answer any questions about the partnership, and thanks so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Ted. And don't worry, we're not going to let you off the hook. We're going to be after you to consider membership also with Rotary. So we thank you for your comments and your good work with Rotary.